Hi everybody, I'd like to talk to you a little bit and tell you a story. A couple of years ago I was at a dinner party and there was quite a few people there, some prestigious, some not. And I was there, I think I was eating crackers and hummus just in the group. And two very educated people from two different colleges began to argue. And they began to argue about whose degree was harder and whose degree had more merit. And they were kind of going throat to throat over some of the competing colleges that we had here in Utah. And it was kind of odd to watch them as they were doing that. And I was just silently observing when a third person came in, who probably has the most education of all of them, a gentleman, and he said, "Enough, enough, enough." He said, you know, regardless of your degree, none of you is the drum circle goddess. And when he did, everybody laughed, and they were all laughing at me. So the reason that I wanted to bring this up is because, you know, here I am, I'm at an age where you would think that bullying and you would think that this place of not belonging, you're over it. But it just doesn't stop. You know, this week we talked with Soul Spark 7. We brought in a sweet little girl that's amongst our midst. This is one of the girls that's at our events and is the daughter of one of our own. And she's been being cyberbullied and told by other kids, you should die. You should just end it all. Telling her to take her own life. And we look at the society and what is it that people feel like we don't belong? Why do people do this? Why do we say we belong here and you don't? We are classified here and you don't. Why do we create these measures of I am better than you and you are less than I? I don't know why we do that. Not long ago, about a year ago, there was a really beautiful professional organization that I'd worked with for a while. And they said, you know, we're concerned because you're affiliated with the hippie movement. You're affiliated with the drummers and things like that. And being professional, we're concerned that it's not the right clientele. It's not the right image that we want to portray. And so very much like being last picked on the team or being the kid hit with dodgeballs, that's how I felt. I realized, oh, okay, I don't belong here either. So what Drum Circle is, and we have one on March 18th at 7 p.m. in Draper, is, guess what? We're all different. And you're right, I don't know that I really belong anywhere. And I don't know that anybody does. And I think the idea of belonging is an illusion. I think as we look for those tiny little groups where we say, okay, I'm one of you, define me, label me as this, or I have the right jacket on, or I have the right hat, or I dress the best, or I have the right hair, or I have the right car, or I have the right education. Now I belong. Now I'm of merit. Now I'm of value. Now you should listen to me because of all of these things that I have or that I am or my credentials. But I'll tell you what Drum Circle is. Drum Circle is a place where none of that matters. We ask that you show up in authenticity of the heart. We ask that you show up and you're willing to speak and that you're willing to share. We ask that you're willing to be in the moment. And we ask that you realize with us and we stand there together that we belong nowhere and we belong everywhere. Because everyone on this planet is different. And the place where I belong the most is the place right inside. It's being right with myself. It's speaking when I get to speak, it's speaking out when I get to speak out, and it's taking a stand when I get to take a stand. And this Drum Circle specifically is about teen suicide here in Utah amongst all of our teens and even beyond. This is a worldwide issue. This is an American issue. This is people feeling like they don't belong, so they're choosing out. And here at Drum Circle, and what we do is we stand and we say, guess what? None of us belong. The rich, the poor, the ugly, the fat, the thin, the beautiful. It doesn't really matter what these classifications are. We stand there and through drums and through sound healing and through standing together, looking into each other's eyes, we say, guess what? You belong here. And that place is deep inside. It's getting right with you. It's that place because guess what? The whole world isn't going to feel you. The whole world isn't going to say, hey, there's not a point in your life, even at my age, there's not a point where people say, hey, you are with us. You belong here. I haven't found it yet. But as time's gone by, I become more and more solid within myself to say I belong with me. That's who I belong with. And guess what? Sometimes I do things super imperfectly. Sometimes I'm trying to do something good and the whole thing blows up in my face and I just botch it up worse. Hell, I could write a book about that. That's what I seem to do the best at. But at the end of the day, if there's anything on my epitaph, it's going to say she did it with pure intention. And she did her best. March 18th, Draper Drum Circle, partnering with every teen scene. We stand together. You wonder what you can do to change an issue? You wonder where you can serve? Stand with us. Be a voice. Be an open heart. Be someone who says, I don't know the answers, but I'll stand with you while we figure it out. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Bring your own drum, bring one to share, or bring your heart if you don't have either. Aho.